In case of this Archaebacteria, cell wall made up of pseudopeptidoglycan, also called as pseudomurine. And why pseudo? Because typical sugar component, that is NAM, N-acetylmuramic acid, these are the absent. So there is a quite variation with respect to addition of the sugar. And in case of this eubacteria, simply normally cell wall, it is made up of the material peptidoglycan, and peptidoglycan material also called as the murine. So quickly we are talking about, that is glycan. Glycan means what? Carbohydrate part which is present inside the peptidoglycan, pseudopeptidoglycan more specifically. So two types of the glycans are present. We already discussed one point, that is NAM, N-acetylmuramic acids are absent. So at the place of the NAM, there is a presence of NAT, and NAT stand for N-acetyltallosamine. These are the one sugar, modified sugar. So N-acetyltallosamine, NAT, NAT. Now second sugar which is present in the glycan part, that is same, that is NAC, that is N-acetylglucosamine, no change with respect to NAC. So what is the exactly main difference? Cell wall of Archaebacteria, these are the pseudopeptidoglycan, and eubacteria simply peptidoglycan. और change कहाँ पे आ रहा है? Change with respect to presence of NAT, that is N-acetyltallossamine, and you have to remember that is NAM, N-acetylmuramic acid, it is totally absent. Got it? So I think this part we already discussed in last class. That is first part, cell wall, difference between the cell wall composition in Archaebacteria as well as in case of eubacteria. Quickly we are talking about second characteristic, means second difference, that is cell membrane or plasma membrane. Okay, Pratyusha? We are talking about second one, cell membrane or plasma membrane in both of Archae as well as the eubacteria. New student, don't worry, we are just continuing this part. Once within few times we start the kingdom protista, so meanwhile you can start the writing. So just try to capture the language, try to understand the concept, because I can understand these are your first class. आपको थोड़ा एक दो दिन लगेगा adjust होने के लिए. Okay? Yeah, so don't worry. Chalo. Okay, Kimya, chalo. So now we are talking about cell membrane. In case of the cell membrane, basically when we are talking about under the which type, under the what we say, that is Archaebacteria, that is cell membrane, basically these are the monolayer. So we are talking about cell membrane or that plasma membrane, these are the monolayer. And when you talk about cell membrane in case of eubacteria, now these are the bilayer, monolayer as well as the bilayer. Diagram में हम देखेंगे, don't worry. Second point with respect to Archaebacteria, now that cell membrane, it has the lipid molecule, right? And between the lipid molecule, there is a presence of ether linkage. So we are talking about between the cell membrane, there is a presence of ether linkage, ether. And when you talk about normal eubacteria, it has ester linkage, ester. Both linkage, these are the associated with the lipid, right? So can you tell me, out of that ester and the ether, which bond is strong? Ether is strong or ester is strong? Which bond is strong? Remember, bimolecules. Ether, which bond is strong? Because all these are the covalent bond, definitely. Ether lelo, ester lelo, amide bond lelo, all these are the covalent bond which is associated with the lipid. But please tell me, out of this ester and the ether, which bond is strong? Ether. Very good, Deepika, sorry. So we are talking about ether. Ether, these are the bond that is more strong. Both these are the strong. Please remember this point. Both these are the strong bond because both these are the example of the covalent bond which is associated with the lipid. But you have to remember, in case of this Archaebacteria, there is a presence of one specific type of this linkage, that linkage called as the ether linkage. Ether linkage, these are the more strong as compared to ester. Ester is strong, right? These are also strong. But which is the more strong? Ether linkage, these are the more strong. So we are taking the diagrammatic representation to represent what is the meaning of monolayer and what is the meaning of bilayer and how that ether and the ester linkage present respectively. Got it, Nihal? Should I continue? Should I continue with diagram? Monolayer and the bilayer? Okay, Shivangi, chalo. So now we are talking about structure, typical structure. Just suppose we are talking about a structure of a single lipid, okay, single lipid structure. So these are the lipid head, and now these are the lipid tail, head and the tail. I hope you know this point. Head, basically these are the globular which is interact with water, hydrophilic in nature. Tail, hydrophobic. Head and the tail. Now what happened whenever we are talking about that is head? Head, basically these are the hydrophilic, means it can easily interact with water, hydrophilic. And tail, hydrophobic, repel from the water, hydrophobic. That's why tail, it is always present at the core of the membrane. But now what happened, this head and tail, they get joined with the help of some linkage at this region. Head and the tail, head globular, tail long elongated fatty acid chain, that's why it is called as a tail. These are the link with some specific type of this linkage. And if you talk which linkage is present at this point, that is, these are the having the ether linkage, ether bond is present. Same scenario with respect to normal eubacteria. Normal eubacteria, again it has the head as well as the tail portion, but now head and the tail, they join with the help of one bond. That bond, nothing but we are talking about, that is ester linkage. So ester and the ether, got it? Head and the tail, these are the part of lipid. ये single lipid का structure है. These are a single lipid structure. ये भी lipid है, and now these are the also lipid. So that single lipid, it is consist of hydrophilic head and the hydrophobic tail. And between head and tail, presence of some linkage, because these are the different part and we have to join it. Now that after the joining, it form a complete entire structure of the lipid. So that lipid consists of ether bond in case of this archaebacteria and the ester bond in case of eubacteria. Okay. Now next point, continue. We are talking about what is the meaning of monolayer and the bilayer. So these are the difference with respect to bond, and now we are talking about layers. Now when you talk in case of this archaebacteria, they have tendency, they can survive under the extreme condition like high salt condition, or then low pH, high temperature, low temperature, acidic, alkaline. At extreme condition, they can survive. So now what happened? Head and the tail, these are the present. For example, head ho gaya, which is represented by this white color, and now there is a presence of this tail, which is represented by this red color. So yahan tak to okay. Now what happened? To increase the stability, tail to tail joining present. Tails are showing extension, and after the extension, they join with each other like this. So now what is this portion? We can say these are the portion. These are the showing tail joining. Tail joining with each other, and after the joining, now it is not look like a bilayer, now it is look like a monolayer, because tail ka joining ho gaya, right? And why this monolayer is required? To extra stability of plasma membrane, extra stability. Got it? So now what happened? Monolayer, basically these are the quite strong, quite stable as compared to bilayer. So monolayer, it is required because they provide stability. Provide stability, and we know that archaebacteria, they survive under the extreme conditions. So that's why such type of the stability is required with respect to archaebacteria. कुछ नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ पे, everything is same, right? There is a same something, the composition is get vary. But now what happened? Whatever we are talking about tails, they are joined with each other, and now after the joining, they look like a single layer. That's why we can say these are the monolayer. Exactly reverse condition with respect to eubacteria. So now what happened? In case of this eubacteria, similar type of that head is present. Head, basically these are the hydrophilic, and now there is a presence of this region, that is tail. But now tail, they are not showing the joining. They can maintain their individual identity, because eubacteria means the bacteria who survive at the normal environmental condition. So if you see, now there's a presence of, it's look like a two layers, right? Two layers. So simply it is called as the bilayer. ये एक layer हो गया, and these are the another layer, because tail, it is not showing the joining. This point is clear, everyone, with respect to bond and with respect to monolayer and the bilayer. Second difference with respect to plasma membrane, because see, archaebacteria, they should have some different mechanism to survive under the harsh condition, to survive under the extreme condition. One's difference with respect to cell wall, second difference with respect to plasma membrane. Got it? This point is clear, everyone? Okay, Shivangi. Yeah, very good. Chalo. Now, next condition we are talking about second difference, third difference with respect to genetic material. Okay. Next point we are talking about with respect to genetic material. ये third difference हो गया. Cell wall is first, cell membrane second, and now we are talking about third difference with respect to genetic material. Remember this thing whenever we are talking about genetic material, right? In case of Archaebacteria, there is a presence of introns plus these are the presence of this exon. Intron as well as the exon form of DNA present which is associated with the Archaebacteria. Can you tell me what is the meaning of intron and what is the meaning of exon? What is the meaning of intron and what is the meaning of exon DNA? Quickly tell me. Intron and the exon, because remember this point, intron part, these are the associated with the Archaebacteria. Yes, Pratyusha, very good. So intron basically these are the non-coding gene. Non-coding. And non-coding means what? Non-coding DNA means who does not form a protein. Protein not formed. So such type of this DNA, which is a part of satellite DNA, which is a part of microsatellite, mini satellite, repetitive form of DNA, all these DNA, these are called as the intron, which is never undergo the process of translation. Protein kabhi bhi form nahi hoga. That's why it is called as the non-coding. And the exon means what? Exon nothing but that is coding DNA. And coding DNA means what? It can form a functional protein. Formed a protein. Right? So such type of this scenario, simply these are called as the intron form and the exon form. But please remember Archaebacteria. Why we say Archaebacteria? These are showing connection between the eubacteria and the eukaryotes. Because eubacteria, it is having type of the DNA that is only and only it is consist of exon DNA, only genic DNA in case of eubacteria. But when you compare with respect to archaebacteria, these are the having intron part, intron, right? And we know that intron हम कब use word करते हैं? When we use the intron, when we are talking about the eubacteria. So definitely on the basis of that, we can say that that is archaebacteria, it has the intron. Got it? Okay. And the last point with respect to histone protein. Right? So definitely DNA it has the negative charge due to phosphate group. Okay, DNA it has the negative charge due to phosphate group. And now what happened? Cell is very small. Cell के अंदर nucleus present होगा or whatever the body is present, cytoplasm. So we have to require positively charged protein for the packaging of DNA. DNA having negatively charged, they interact with positively charged protein. So positive negative attraction होगा, and because of that attraction, at less size, at minimum size, we can pack maximum amount of DNA. So for packaging of DNA, for the compactation of DNA, we require some positively charged protein. And I just want to mention this point. In case of Archaebacteria, there is a presence of some specific histone proteins. So in this condition, simply we can say that is histone proteins present. Histone proteins. So we discuss in detail, but in this scenario, histone proteins are present. But when you talk about in case of this eubacteria, such type of histone proteins are absent. Okay, histone proteins are present and the histone proteins are absent. So these are the few points we can say those are the resemblance to eukaryotes. That is non-coding DNA intron is present as well as we can say there is a presence of this histone protein. और एक point आप यहाँ पे लिख सकते हो, last one, which is again resembles to eubacteria. That is when we are talking about during the protein synthesis, first amino acid added, not formed, first amino acid added during translation. First amino acid which is added during the translation, ये point है. And now that example, simply we are talking about amino acid, that is methionine amino acid. AA for amino acid, okay? Capital A stand for amino acid. So which one is the first amino acid which is added during the translation process, that is during the protein synthesis process? That is methionine. These are the resemblance to eukaryote. But now when you compare this point with eubacteria, the first amino acid which is added, can you tell me which amino acid? In case of bacteria, first amino acid added during translation, during protein synthesis. Anyone, can you tell me which is the first amino acid? Formylmethionine. Addition of the formyl group, right? So we are talking about that is formylmethionine. Pratyusha, glycine basically these are the smallest amino acid. So whenever we are talking about the translation now, during the translation process, first amino acid जो add होगा that is AUG. आपने देखा होगा ना genetic properties code में in 12th standard. AUG, these are the start codon, and AUG it is having the dual function. AUG code for methionine amino acid as well as AUG. These are the act as a start codon also. Start codon means what? The first amino acid who added during the translation process, during the protein synthesis process. Okay, beta? Yeah. So now remember this point, we are talking about what is the difference. दोनों का जो कोड है ये सेम है. Methionine nothing but we are talking about AUG. और यहाँ पे भी क्या होगा, there is a presence of AUG. But now what happened, on the head of the AUG there is an addition of one group, that is formyl group. Formyl, F for what? F stand for the formyl group. So F met हो गई, formylmethionine. So in this point, if you discuss this point, which point these are the resemblance to eukaryote. So please you have to mention this point. Number 3, that is genetic code. Number 3, that is histone protein. And the fifth one, that is first amino acid, that is methionine. All these 3 points, these are the resemblance to eukaryotes. Resemblance to eukaryotes. Okay, resemblance to eukaryote. Which 3 points? Genetic material, presence of the histone protein, and the first amino acid which is added during the translation process. Got it? This point is clear, everyone? Okay. Okay, Deepika. Yeah, everyone, this point is clear. कि very basic points हैं. And now what happened? हमारे पास time बहुत कम है. You know that. You are the repeater batch. So now what happened? ऐसे नहीं होगा कि हम chapter wise जा रहे. Sometime what happened? 11th का कुछ part 12th में merge होगा, 12th का कुछ part 11th में merge होगा. So you have to take the update. You continuously you have to revision. Please, more practice, more revision. Remember this thing. Success का एक ही formula है. जितना ज्यादा practice करोगे, जितना ज्यादा question solve करोगे, you will aware with this language of question. और वही हमें करना है. Yeah. Otherwise, the syllabus is totally easy. Yeah. चलो. So should I continue the next part? Types of archaebacteria. Should I continue? Komal, Sakshi, Samarth, Sejal, Shivangi, Siddhi, Vinaya. रुबाइका. ए रुबाइका, ये हमारी रुबाइका है. एरिस्टोटल रुबाइका है. Okay, Samarth, chalo, very good. So next part we are talking about types of the archaebacteria. So next part we are talking about, that is types of archaebacteria. And this point is again we see repeated in case of microbe, and some part is related to methanogen in global warming, release of methane gas. So ये point भी repeat होगा, but quickly we revise here. Types of the archaebacteria. Divide your page into 3 parts, because in our syllabus we have total 3 types of archaebacteria. methanogen, halophiles, and the thermoacidophiles. So please divide your page into three parts. Number one, first type, we are talking about methanogen, first type. Number second, halophiles. And the number third, that is thermoacidophiles. Thermoacidophiles. So quickly, one by one, we are taking the habitat, the nutrition, and mode of function. That's it. Only 3 points. जहाँ से question बनेंगे. So first point, we are talking about first property, that is habitat. Habitat. Okay. In case of this habitat, basically when you are using the methanogen basically they are survive under the anaerobic condition, right? These are the anaerobic. So simply we can say the environment which is required, that is anaerobic. So they require anaerobic environment. Anaerobic environment, right? Number second, habitat, those are very common. These are also present in marshy area. Marshy area. That's why methane gas also called as the marsh gas. We'll discuss that part later. But again, it is present in marshy area, as well as it is present in swampy area. Waterlogged condition, where inside the soil water amount is very high. So now that is waterlogged condition. As well as these are the also present inside this cattle rumen. I hope you know that is inside this cattle rumen, it is a part of some cellulose digestion, right? So cattle lumen means these are the related to cellulose digestion. So inside this cattle body, there is a specific type of pouch is present. That pouch, these are the rich with the bacteria that is methanogen. Because see, अगर हम कोई green vegetables खा रहे, for example हम कोई spinach खा रहे, मेथी, पालक all there. So now what happen in our body? We can't degrade the cellulose because we don't have cellulase enzyme. So that is a roughage material. वो हमारे body से as a part of excrete it will be released. But now some animals like buffalo, like cattle, like goat, they can easily digest the cellulose because these are the herbivores. So what plants khate hain, and we know that plant basically we are talking about these are rich with the cell wall, and cell wall it is having the cellulose. So some animal they can easily digest this cellulose. Why these are the possible? Because the presence of some rumen. Rumen, these are the one specific type of the pouch where methanogen bacteria can survive. And methanogen bacteria, they secrete cellulase enzyme and they can easily degrade cellulose. Okay, and simply you see this part, you will discuss this part in biomolecule under the cellulose point because cellulose, these are the example of polysaccharide. So वहाँ पे discuss कर लेना, but simply I am writing some part. It is part of the cellulose digestion. And ये question already, this question is already asked in previous examination. So these are the some habitat with respect to methanogen bacteria. और एक आप लिख सकते हो, we are talking about these are the also part of this biogas production, gobar gas production, right? These are the also habitat because there is one artificial system where we produce the biogas, but now again some methanogen bacteria also present in that area. Next condition, habitat with respect to halophiles. In case of these halophiles, basically these type of these halophiles means what? The bacteria who survive at the high salt concentration. So it's very much common. These are the present in the tidal pools where the concentration of salt is very high, as well as it is also present in salt pool or the salt lake, And if I want to introduce what is the concentration of that NaCl, it should be have 25 to 30% NaCl concentration. देखो कितना ज्यादा concentration है, means you know that percentage sign means in 100 ml you can add the 25 gram or 30 gram of NaCl. So that is it's called as 25 to 30% concentration of NaCl of water. So just remember कितना ज्यादा concentration है. So some bacteria they can even survive at the high salt concentration. So such type of this bacteria called as the halophiles. And the last category, that is thermoacidophiles. Name itself indicate. Thermo means what? High temperature. The first habitat we are talking about, that is high temperature. And high temperature means nothing but we are talking about approximately 80 degrees Celsius. approximately 80 degrees Celsius, thermo, high temperature. As well as we can say these are the also survive at the low pH, power of hydrogen. And low pH means we are talking about that is pH 2, extremely acidic condition. Definitely pH 2, it is approximately our stomach pH. So just imagine, itne zyada acidic pH mein bhi bacteria can survive. And as well as these are the also part of the hot water spring. Okay. So at that area, which bacteria present? Thermoacidophiles bacteria are present. So they are the first point with respect to habitat. Got it? Chalo. Second point, ये हो गया हमारा first point with respect to habitat. Second point, we are talking about mode of nutrition. Nutrition means what kind of they are showing, autotroph, heterotroph, etc. So nutrition, second point, that is nutrition. First of all, we are talking about methanogen. Basically, these are the chemoautotrophs. Chemoautotrophs, and I hope you remember जब हमने Monera start किया था, right? तो वहां पे हमने discuss किया था what is meaning of the chemoautotrophs. It means that nitrogen fixing bacteria chemoautotrophs है, iron bacteria, hydrogen bacteria, sulfur bacteria, all these are the chemoautotrophs. Means chemical undergo the degradation, electron get released, that electron pick up by the electron transport system, production of ATP, and now that ATP used for the food synthesis. Such type of this bacteria called as the chemoautotrophic bacteria. So even methanogen bacteria, they are, beta, Pratyusha, that is like thermal springs, hot water springs or thermal spring. Thermal means what? Thermal means heat. Heat means high temperature. So similar word, doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah. So first, chemoautotroph, nothing but methanogen, these are the come under the chemoautotrophs. Now when you talk about the second example with respect to halophiles. Halophiles, these are the more specifically belong to heterotrophics. These are the heterotrophs. Those are the depend upon the other organism for their food. And when we are talking about the thermoacidophiles, again these are the example of the chemoautotrophs. These are the chemoautotrophs. Okay. So first and the third, these are the similar, only change with respect to heterotrophs. Done? Okay, chalo. Should I continue? What is the difference between the autotrophs and the chemoautotrophs? Pratyusha, autotrophs means they can synthesize their own food. Under the autotrophs, two types, chemoautotroph and the photoautotrophs. Photoautotrophs means synthesis of food in presence of light. Chemo means what? Light की जरूरत नहीं है, but now chemical undergo the degradation, electron generate ATP production, and that ATP utilized for the food production. Under autotrophs, two types, chemoautotrophs and the photoautotrophs. Okay. No, they not use the chemical undergo the degradation. For example, we are using one component, that is ammonia. Ammonia kya hai? These are the one component, right? Chemo component hai, chemical component. So that ammonia undergo the degradation. जैसे ammonia degradation होगा, electron get generate, and now that electron pick up by bacteria, become part of electron transport system, and you know that जब कभी भी ETS run होगा, production of ATP. Just check the previous point. हाँ, ये बहुत जरूरी है. Please revise this continuously. Okay, चलो. Now second point, that is mode of nutrition. Third point we are talking about, that is respiration. Aerobic है, anaerobic है, facultative है, क्या है? So third point we are talking about with respect to respiration. Third characteristic. Whenever we are talking about methanogen, these are the 100% anaerobic. And strictly anaerobic, these are the represented by the word that is obligate. These are the obligate 100% anaerobics. Okay, they can survive only and only in absence of oxygen. Obligate anaerobics. Thoda bhi oxygen hoga, they cannot survive. Methanogen, these are the example of the obligate anaerobics. When we are talking about, in case of this halophiles, basically these are the facultative anaerobics. And what is the meaning of facultative anaerobics? Tell me. Halophiles, basically these are the example of facultative anaerobics. And what is meaning of facultative anaerobics? We discussed this part. Quickly tell me. Dormant stage. Dormant stage कहाँ पे dormant होगा, कहाँ पे inactive होगा? At which, aerobic or anaerobic? Facultative anaerobic means if oxygen present, they are showing more growth. And if oxygen absent, they can only survive. They undergo the inactive stage. They undergo the quiescent stage. So facultative anaerobic means they can survive in both conditions, but more growth in presence of oxygen. So we are talking about, just quickly I'm writing this information. What is meaning of this facultative anaerobic? That is more growth in presence of oxygen. In presence of oxygen, but can survive. But can survive in less oxygen or in absence of oxygen. Such type of this bacteria, these are called as the facultative anaerobic. I hope you remember, हमने last class देखा था mycoplasm, which is the smallest bacteria. Smallest bacteria, mycoplasm, who has the 0.3 micrometer in size. Even those bacteria also belonging to facultative anaerobics. Got it? Okay, Pooja. Yeah, so more growth in presence of this oxygen, and if oxygen is absent, even that condition they can survive. Means they undergo the dormant stage, they undergo the inactive stage. मतलब cell division नहीं होगा, कोई metabolic activity नहीं होगी, no cell division, no replication, no transcription, translation. They just maintain their life as it is. No metabolic activity if oxygen is absent or if oxygen present in less amount. But if oxygen present in more amount, that time they can easily showing the cell division process. Got it? So these are the third characteristic. First we discuss habitat. Number second we discuss nutrition. Number third we discuss respiration. Last point we are talking about, that is characteristic features. How they are showing mode of mechanism. Okay, chalo. So next part we are talking about next feature, number fourth and the last feature, characteristic features. Specific characteristic, ऐसा उनमें क्या है? Characteristic, okay? So first of all, we are talking about first characteristic with respect to methanogen. First characteristic with respect to methanogen. Methanogen bacteria, they can produce methane gas. First point. They can produce a gas that is methane gas. And methane gas, it has the different name. Methane gas also called as the biogas because it is used in biogas production, as well as these are the also called as the marsh gas. Marsh because it is produced under the marshy area. So alag name, you can say methane gas, you can say biogas, you can say marsh gas. All these are the, yes, you can say gobar gas. हाँ चलेगा. These are also called as the gobar gas. So these are the different name of the marsh gas which is produced by the bacteria methanogen. So these are the characteristic features of the first bacteria, that is methanogen bacteria. Number second, we are talking about with respect to halophiles, the bacteria who survive under the high salt concentration, that is halophiles. Okay. Now in case of this halophiles, basically we are talking about light play very important role. हमने ये तो कह दिया कि these are the heterotrophic, means they cannot synthesize their own food, they depend upon the totally. But now what happened? Even these halophiles, they having some light sensitive pigments are present. So we are talking the explanation for that halophiles. In this point, we are talking about, that is फॉर एग्जाम्पल वी आर टेकिंग वन बैक्टीरिया, ठीक है, बैक्टीरिया का हम एग्जाम्पल देख रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दीज आर दी हेलोफाइल्स बैक्टीरिया. ये बैक्टीरिया है. Bacteria, it has the plasma membrane. So this white color, nothing but these are the plasma membrane. Definitely this bacteria has the cell wall. So we are not taking too much detail about the structure. Now what is the specific property with these halophiles? This plasma membrane, it has some light sensitive pigment. All over the plasma membrane, there is a presence of some pigment. So I'm writing the name. This pigment, nothing but that is bacteriorhodopsin pigment. Bacteriorhodopsin pigments. Where these are the present? These pigments present on halophiles plasma membrane, bacteriorhodopsin. These bacteriorhodopsin, these are the specific type of this pigment. Now, what is the property of this pigment? This pigment, they can absorb the light. So, ये light है. So, this bacteriorhodopsin pigment, this pigment absorb the light. And normally what happen when we are talking about during the photosynthesis process, either in plant or in case of photosynthetic bacteria, that bacteria, they can having the photosynthetic pigment, and with the help of that pigment, they absorb the light and they can perform the food synthesis. They can involve in the carbon fixation. But now still these halophiles, they are having some pigment, they absorb the light, but again they are involved during the heterotrophic condition. They cannot synthesize their own food. Why we are say these are condition? Because this bacteria, halophiles bacteria, plasma membranes are present. On the plasma membrane, there is a presence of this specific type of the pigment, that is bacteriorhodopsin pigment. Bacteriorhodopsin pigment, they absorb the light. And now what happens? After the absorption of light, they produce the ATP. Because light, it is having the, some electrons are there, protons are there, and now that light energy used for the ATP production. But please remember, this ATP production, it is used for other metabolic activities. Other metabolic activities like movement, like reproduction, like cell division, वहां पे energy use होगा. But I want to mention this point, this ATP, whatever this ATP is produced, it is not, please remember, not used in food synthesis, not used in carbon fixation process. Because see, हमने chemoautotrop में क्या देखा था? Chemoautotrop, these are the bacteria, basically they can undergo the chemical degradation and they produce the ATP, and now that ATP used for the food production. Same scenario for the photoautotropic bacteria. That bacteria, by they produce the energy in the presence of this light, and that energy used for the carbon fixation, food synthesis. But now these halophiles, इनके पास सब कुछ है. Pigments are there. They can absorb the light. Even they can produce energy in the form of ATP. But that ATP, it is not used. Please remember, okay? Not used for the carbon fixation. So whatever the ATP is produced in the presence of this light, that all ATP, these are the used for the other metabolic activities like respiration, like cell division, like movement, वहां पे use करेंगे. But ये ATP food synthesis में use नहीं होगा. That's why here we mention one point. What is the mode of respiration? Mode of respiration, that is heterotrophic respiration. Got it? Heterotrophic respiration. ATP produce hoga, but that ATP not used for the carbon fixation, not used for the food synthesis. Got it? This point is clear, everyone? Shivangi, okay. Nihal, what about the others? New students, आप भी बताना, because I can understand that thing. Is this your first class? Is this, you have any problem with my language, or you can't capture, you can't understand? So please tell me. I can minimize my speed. Siddhi, Rubaika, Kimaya, are you okay? Devash? Okay, Samar, चलेगा. Okay, so ये था second characteristic with respect to bacteria, that is halophiles bacteria. And the last category, actually यहाँ से question नहीं बनेगा. Third category, that is thermoacidophiles. Not exactly question, more important, but we are writing just information. Thermoacidophiles characteristic, okay, under third column. Under the thermoacidophiles, you can write down the simply condition because we just discussed thermoacidophiles. Basically, these are the facultative anaerobic, means they can survive, under the anaerobic condition and more growth in presence of this aerobic. So now what happened when we are talking about the thermoacidophiles? It means that is this sulfur group is present. अगर कोई sulfur group present होगा, that sulfur group simply it is converted into H2SO4. It is converted into H2SO4. ये कब होगा? When condition is aerobic. That is in presence of oxygen. If O2 is present, right? And now what happens? Sometime sulfur they can convert it in the form of H2S. H2S है मतलब oxygen absent होगा, right? So that condition nothing but that is anaerobic condition where O2 it is absent. Plus means present, minus means absent. So both reaction can be occur. Production of H2SO4 and even production of the H2S in presence of oxygen and in absence of oxygen respectively. So facultative hai, definitely these are the example of the facultative anaerobics. So both conditions these are the applicable, aerobic as well as the anaerobic. Got it? So not question from the thermoacidophiles. Ab tak jo questions bane, that question is related to bacteriorhodopsin, hard level question, and the another simple question, methanogen. That is production of methane gas, biogas, marsh gas or the gobar gas. Got it? This point is clear everyone? Yeah, so with this we cover the entire portion of the kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera thoda sa large hai but important hai because it is again covered with the microbes also. We can match with microbes also. So इसके examples भी आते हैं. I'm not writing the example because there is no question on the example. You can easily understand if I'm saying methanobacteria. So that methanobacteria means these are the belonging to methanogen. If I'm saying holobacterium or haloacidophilus, it means that these are belonging to halophiles. If I'm saying thermoplasma bacteria, so thermo means what? First word that is thermoacidophilus, so you can easily recognize. So directly straightforward questions, but I don't think so कि इतने easy questions आएंगे. No questions on the example. That's it. So this part is over everyone. Should I erase this slide? Yes or no? Okay, chalo. So now with this we end the complete kingdom Monera. Now we start the another kingdom, that is kingdom Protista. Very simple and very straightforward question from the kingdom Protista. सबसे छोटा है, सबसे easy है. Basically what happened according to R.H. Whitaker system, we already discussed this part, that is kingdom Protista. This term, these are the introduced by the scientist Haeckel. Scientist Haeckel first time showing the introduction. Introduce the Protista. And we already discussed this point. Protista basically these are the showing linkage to fungi as well as these are the showing linkage to plantae as well as these are the showing linkage with animalia. Okay, so these are the showing linkage, these are showing connection link with the higher eukaryotes like fungi, plantae and the animalia. So that's why we have to write down one sentence. This kingdom Protista does not have any well defined boundary. So simply we can say that is well defined boundary, it is absent. Boundary means what? We are talking about specific type of the cell wall, specific type of this plasma membrane. So that is absent because see हम आगे discuss करेंगे, we compare this point. Fungi boundary chitin से बनी है. Fungus it has the cell wall that is chitin. Plantae boundary these are the made up of the cellulose that is cell wall. In case of this animalia that is totally cell wall is absent. But now what happened? At some point Protista it is resembles to fungi also. Protista it is resembles to plantae also, and some places it is resembles to animalia also. So that's why we are saying these does not having well-defined boundary. Well-defined boundary is absent because it is showing connection with fungi, plantae as well as the animalia. Got it? So these are some basic information, basic introduction with respect to kingdom Protista. Introduction and the linkage. One by one we are taking the characteristic features. with respect to kingdom Protista. So write down the title. We are talking about some features, some characteristic features. Okay. So first of all, when we are talking about features, these are the unicellular eukaryotes. Kingdom Protista, these are the belonging to unicellular eukaryotes. Pratyusha, nature is what? No, it's not a dual nature. Actually, it is having more than dual nature. Triple, tetra, penta, बहुत सारे nature है इसके. Dual nature we are using for the two organism. Number one, that is Chlamydomonas, and number second, that is Euglena. That is a dual organism. Yeah. So first number, we are talking about first feature. Basically, these are the unicellular eukaryote. Number second, eukaryotic, it means that is membrane bound organelles are present. Organelles are present, means endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi, nucleus, everything is are present. If we are talking about which type of this ribosome is present, so in case of this Protista, ATS type of the ribosome is present. In case of this kingdom Monera, presence of the 70S. Third property. Next property we are talking about with respect to locomotion. So how these are the showing the locomotion. So whenever we are talking about in case of this kingdom Protista, these are the mostly aquatic. हम आगे देखेंगे with category. With respect to these are the organism, these are the mostly aquatic. And now what happened? The part which is organ which is used for the locomotion, that number one, that is pseudopodia, which is very much common in case of this amoeba. Second one, there is a presence of this flagella, and as well as there is a presence of this another part, that is cilia. Eukaryotic flagella and the eukaryotic cilia. Got it? Pseudopodia, flagella, cilia, these are the three parts which is used in locomotion part for the movement. Next one, number 5th, we are talking about, that is mode of nutrition. In case of this Protista, when we are talk about the mode of the nutrition, basically it has the two category. It has the two category. Number one, these are the belonging to autotrophs. The autotrophs bhi honge, and as well as these are the belonging to second category, that is heterotrophs. Autotroph even as well as the heterotrophs. Under the heterotrophs, it has the some variations. Variations means what? Might be possible, that is some Protista they act as a parasitic. So parasitic bhi hoga. Under the heterotrophs, some these are the showing symbiotic association. So these are the symbiont showing the symbiotic association. Third category, maybe these are the belonging to saprophytic category, means those survive on the dead organic matter. So ये saprophytic भी होंगे. And now the last category, which is unique to Protista, because it is a very common in case of this animal as well as it is started from the Protista, that is holozoic. Holozoic. And that holozoic, nothing but we can say they can inject the food. These are the one injection type. These are the some injective type. And that injective type, nothing but we can introduce in term, that is holozoic. So autotroph, heterotroph, these are the similar to kingdom Monera also. But यहाँ पे एक new point add हुआ, that is engulfment of food, intake of the food inside the body. And that part, nothing but we are talking about, that is holozoic, engulfment of the solid food. Got it? This point is clear, everyone? This point is clear? Okay, very nice. Yeah. So next point, we are talking about mode of reproduction. Number 6, mode of reproduction. And under the reproduction, first of all, we are talking about asexual mode of reproduction, where single parent is involved. Asexual mode of reproduction. And now in this asexual mode of reproduction, we will discuss total 2 parameters. Number 1, there is a presence of this fission. Fission, okay? Binary fission as well as the multiple fission. दोनों type के होते हैं. So that is presence of this fission. And the another point, spore formation. Because see, spore formation, these are the very much common In case of the fungi basically they are involved in the spore formation. But even what we say, that is kingdom Protista also, they are showing the spore formation. So at this point they can resemble to fungi also. तो ये था, ये हम डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे विद एग्जांपल. After the asexual, next category we are talking about, that is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction. This point I am repeating here because this point similar to kingdom fungi as well as this point similar to kingdom plantae. So I am taking all explanation together here. हम बार-बार repeat नहीं करेंगे. So whatever the explanation is going on, ये यहीं पे होगा. So sexual reproduction, basically these are the three types, and you have to remember this point. These are the first group of organism. Those are the showing sexual reproduction, because kingdom Monera, they totally absent the sexual reproduction. At the place of sexual reproduction, there is a presence of the parasexuality, that is conjugation, transformation, transduction. But now kingdom Protista, these are the first group of organism who undergo the sexual reproduction. Under the sexual reproduction, first point जो होगा, first what we say, first type, that is isogamous. Isogamous. Isogamous, nothing but morphologically similar gamete. Morphologically similar gametes. Male and the female gametes, these are the morphologically similar. So such type of this fusion, these are called as the isogametes condition, right? But now what happened? In this scenario, you can remember this point. In this point, that gamete, they should be flagella present or might be possible flagella absent. Both conditions are there. Flagella present भी हो सकता है, flagella absent भी हो सकता है. So if you want to draw a diagram, you can represent like this. Now what happened? There is a presence of two gametes. Suppose these are the two gametes, and now these two gametes, Pratyusha, see, these are the product of sexual reproduction बात कर रहे हैं. So genetically they should be vary from each other. अगर genetically similar होगा, we never say that is a sexual reproduction. That time we can say these are the asexual fusion. Okay, so definitely there is a variation with gametes, because एक male gamete होगा, एक female gamete होगा. There should be variation because it is a product of meiosis, and meiosis is responsible for variations. Yeah. So, कहाँ थे हम? Yeah. So we are talking about there is a presence of the flagella. So flagella present means what? For example, you can say now these are the organism who has the flagella. Flagella present है, and now morphologically similar also. So these are also true. Now what happened? They are showing the fusion. They are showing the fusion with each other. And now what happened? After the fusion, there is a formation of this typical structure, that is zygote. यहाँ पे zygote बनेगा, right? So flagella present, isogamous condition, morphologically similar type of the gamete. Same scenario with respect to flagella absent, ये भी condition present होगा. Now what happened? Both the gamete should be morphologically similar, and in this scenario flagella absent, but definitely after the fusion there is a development of this zygote, and that zygote, these are the one product after the sexual reproduction. So isogamous means what? Might be possible flagella present or absent, but what is the basic property? Similar type of the gametes, they are showing the fusion. So such type of this scenario, these are called as the isogamous condition. Next scenario, number second, that is unisogamous. Un means what? Now अब यहाँ पे डिस्कस करेंगे morphologically different. Unisogamous. And unisogamous, nothing but morphologically different. They differ from each other. So in this scenario, you can write down simple condition. Suppose हम ऐसे consider करें. Now these are the one gamete, and simply you can say these are the female gamete. Female का symbol है female gamete. Okay. And now what happened? Female gamete. Now these are the motile, because flagella is present. At the same time, there is a presence of this male gamete. So these are the symbol for the male gamete. So now what happened? What you said? You said there is a variation with respect to their size. Definitely morphologically differ, but differ किससे हुआ? With respect to size, because female gamete, these are the large in size. This one the large in size, and the male gamete basically these are the small in size. But now what happened? Such type of this fusion also possible, and such type of this fusion where morphologically differ, and which characteristic? Morphologically size variation. One is small size, another one is large size gamete. Even those are showing the, yes, dissimilar shape. So the even those are also showing the fusion. Such type of this fusion, these are called as the unisogamous condition. Got it? And the last one, third one, that is oogamous, which is the most advanced method of sexual reproduction. Oogamous. And oogamous, basically these are the most advanced method of sexual reproduction. And what is the meaning of this oogamous? यहाँ पे भी morphologically dissimilar होगा. Morphological difference, definitely gamete, it has the morphological difference, but now we are taking this some extra part. Why we say these are the most advanced? So it has this some specific point with respect to male gamete and with respect to female gamete. क्वेश्चन आएगा. क्वेश्चन क्या होगा? आइसोगैमस, anisogamy, oogamous. Question coming in question. For example, giving the example, Kara, these are the one example of the Kara. These are showing sexual reproduction of what type? Isogamous, oogamous, or unisogamous. So that time you have to understand what is the meaning of isogamous. Isogamous means what? Similar gametes showing fusion. Unisogamous means what? Morphologically differ with respect to size. Nah, no, they never ask question on this concept. But they give one example like Kara, like Chlamydomonas, like fungus, and simply they ask which kind of this reproduction is present. Oogamous hai, isogamous hai, or the unisogamous. So for to solving that kind of the question, we have to understand what is the basic difference between iso, uniso, and the oogamous. Chalo. Now next point, we are talking about exactly main difference with respect to male and the female gametes. Whenever we are talking about that is male gamete, it is always small in size, and the female gamete, it is always large in size. These are the first difference with respect to oogamous. Now when we are talking about in case of male gamete, might be possible, यहाँ पे हो सकता है कि male gamete motile, or in some point maybe we can find out some example that is male gamete, these are the non-motile also. So both scenario present, motile bhi ho sakte hain, non-motile bhi. But now when we are talking about in case of this female gamete, it is always and always non-motile. Got it? So these are the second point. And now what happened whenever we are talking about that is reserved food material, reserved food. So definitely that female gamete, it has the large size. तो डेफिनेट है अगर लार्ज साइज होगा तो ज्यादा रिजर्व फूड मटेरियल प्रेजेंट होगा, राइट? सो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट वेयर द रिजर्व फूड मटेरियल इज प्रेजेंट. सो इन दिस कंडीशन यू कैन राइट डाउन दिस सिंपल दैट इज रिजर्व फूड मटेरियल कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट होगा? These are the present in case of this female gametophyte, because female gametophyte it has the large size. So who store this reserved food material? Female. And such type of this reserved food material, it is absent in case of male gamete. Got it? So these are the exactly three difference with respect to how to differentiate, because see unisogamous and the oogamous dono similar hai, morphologically differ, but why we say oogamous these are the most advanced? Because of some properties with respect to their size, with respect to their motility, and more important with respect to their storage of reserved food material. Got it? Yes or no? Yeah. और एक पॉइंट आप लिख सकते हो if you want. that is production of gametes. So whenever we are talking about male gamete, production of male gametes, these are in high amount. In high amount. Same condition it is present in case of gymnosperm as well as in case of this angiosperm. आपने word पढ़ा होगा pinus plant. Pinus plant, these are the called as the sulfur shower. Means what? During the maturity, if you see the pinus plant or any gymnosperm plant, they release the pollen grains in abundant amount. So ऐसा लगेगा कि जो टिप है, जो टिप का रीजन है जिम्नोस्पर्मिक प्लांट का, they are showing the yellow color or what we say light pink color shading structure, because when they release the pollen grain, million trillions pollen grain they release at a time. But now what happened? Out of that pollen grains, because see, pollination it is done with the help of water or pollination done with the help of air. So that time we required more gametes, because क्या भरोसा, जिस तरफ air flow होगा उस तरफ gamete का flow होगा, spore can be released. So at that point, is this any biotic agent? It is not involved for the pollination. So at that time, you have to produce more male gamete, because we want to increase the assurance of pollination, and to increase that affinity, to increase that successful fertilization, one way, increase the production of male gamete. जितना ज़्यादा male production होगा उतना ज़्यादा fertilization का chances होगा. And when you compare this point with the female gamete productions, definitely these are the less production. So you can compare this point with the human also, because see, human ka fertilization basically is the internal fertilization. Inside the fallopian tube, fertilization process can be occur. But now what happen? Sperms are produced in many amount, more number of the sperm. But egg kitna hoga? Per month only one egg is released. So these are the some compensation points. Same scenario with respect to oogamous condition. That's why we can say these are the most advanced method. Got it? This point is clear, everyone? Okay, chalo. Now we are talking about types of the protista, and remember we discussed three types of the protista. Number one, photosynthetic protista, decomposer protista, and the protozoans. Maximum questions जो बनते हैं, that is coming from the photosynthetic protista and the protozoa, because we have to remember paramecium, plasmodium, sleeping sickness, disease. So some disease related to protozoan. So सब कुछ नहीं करना है. We are taking only important point. Okay. So first of all, we are talking about first important point with respect to protista, photosynthetic protista, which is a neat favorite part. Yeah. So write down the title. We are talking about types of protista. Types of protista. You can divide your page into three sections, because simply we are talking about one simple question, division and the class. That's it. Division and the class. ज़्यादा हम डिटेल में नहीं जा रहे. So we are talking about three characteristic features, three types of the protista. Number one, photosynthetic protista. Photosynthetic protista. Do one thing, one by one. Table लिखने से अच्छा we draw one by one. That's better. Yeah. So we are talking about first category, that is photosynthetic protista. Don't draw table. First category, photosynthetic protista. Under the photosynthetic protista, further we'll discuss three major examples: dinoflagellate, diatoms, and the euglenoids. So under this point, three examples are there. First one, dinoflagellates. Dinoflagellates, and these dinoflagellates, these are also called as bioluminescence protista. Bioluminescence bioluminescence protista. Why we say bioluminescence protista? Because they can emit the light. हम इसको आगे discuss करेंगे when we discuss about the red tide. Because it has this some pigments and that pigment they can emit the light. So that's why we can say dinoflagellates basically it is having the specific type of the characteristic bioluminescence. They can emit the light. Now when we are talking about dinoflagellates, these are the protista who belong into division Pyrophyta. They are belonging to division Pyrophyta. And Pyrophyta, nothing but these are the simply called as the fire protista. Fire protista means what? They emit the light. They emit the light. That's why we can say these are the also called as the fire protista. Next one. Second example we are talking about with respect to class. These are the belonging to class that is Dinophysian. Dinophysian. Why I'm giving this question? Because I think in 2012, एक question बना था on the Pyrophyta. So that's why I'm giving one question on the division they already asked. That's why we are taking this part. So dinoflagellate is belonging to division Pyrophyta and the class that is Dinophysi. And whenever we are using the word that is dinoflagellate, it has the bioluminescence property. It means that we are talking about they can emit the light. Next point we are talking about that is diatoms. Diatoms. Diatoms basically these are also called as the desmid. These are also called as the desmid, diatoms or desmid. Now this desmid or the diatoms, these are the belonging to division. They are belonging to division Chrysophyta. Chrysophyta, and these division part already asked in previous examination. Diatoms and the desmid belongs to which division? These are the belonging to Chrysophyta. And class not important actually. Not important. नहीं ले रहे हम छोड़ो. ज़्यादा complication हो जाएगा. So remember the division that is Chrysophyta. Class basically it is belonging to Basilorophysi, but no question on this point, so we are not taking that part. And the third category that is euglenoids. Euglenoids. And under the euglenoids, we are taking the first division. That division simply it is represented by this word that is Euglenophyta. Okay, Euglenophyta. One question which is already asked, दो questions बने थे इससे. Number one that is division Chrysophyta, and the another question that is bioluminescence property. Simply it is called as the division Pyrophyta. बाकी सब कुछ भूल गए फिर भी चलेगा. Doesn't matter. Okay, this part is over, everyone. This part is over. Okay. Now these are the first category. Number one that is photosynthetic protista. B, number second category, small b, we are talking about decomposers or the consumer protista. Second category under the protista. B category that is consumer, or simply you can say decomposers, or simply you can say slime mold protista. Slime mold. Okay, so different name for this protista: consumers, decomposers, or the slime mold. Whenever we are talking about these decomposers, definitely we are talking about mode of nutrition. These all are saprophytic. All these are the saprophytic. Okay, definitely consumers say, decomposers say, these are the saprophytic. Now I just want to introduce one thing. Class. Which class? Consumers, decomposers of the slime mold, they are belonging to one class that is Myxomycetes. Myxomycetes class. मिक्सोमाइसिटीज. एंड रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट, यहाँ पे वर्ड आ गया मिक्सो, MYXO. Mixo means nothing but slime. Remember, in case of this BJ also we discussed the Mixophycean, right? That is specific type of the prokaryotic algae who secrete the slime layer, who secrete the mucilage like BGA, like Nostro. So यहाँ पे भी word आ रहा है mixo. It means what? They even produce some slime layer. And whenever we are talking about mycetes, MYCETAS. So mycete is nothing but we are talking about, these are the specific type of the class, that is fungus class, fungi, right? So in this point we can say that is consumers decomposes slime mold. It is having the mycete structure, means they form the mycelium structure. They can produce this food. So at this point we can say fungus, these are the resembles to fungi. पहले हमने देखा photosynthetic means they are resembles to plant, and now in this scenario we are talking about the consumers, they can produce the spores, they are having the structure like a fungi. So again this second point, these are the resembles to kingdom fungi. So that's why we say one line is showing the connection link with respect to plantae, animalia, even fungus also, even to fungi also. Got it? This point is clear, everyone? Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. So now in this condition, we are talking about decomposers, that is consumers or the slime mold, and these are also called as the mixophycetes. Now all these mixophycetes, whatever we are taking, that is Protista, these are also called as the Protistean fungi. These are also called as the Protistean fungi. And what is meaning of this Protistean fungi? Just we discuss. Simply we can say decomposers. Simply you can say slime mold. So Protistean fungi, that is Protista hai, but now these are the similar to fungi. That's what is called as the Protistean fungi. Decomposers, also you can say that is slime mold, also you can say consumer, because all these are the saprophytic organism. All these Protistean fungi, decomposers, slime mold, consumer, it will be divided into two types. It's divided into two types. Number one, acellular. Number one, acellular, and this acellular, these are the also called as plasmodial slime mold. Plasmodial slime mold. Your first point under these decomposers. Second type, simply you can say that is cellular. Cellular, and these cellular also called as the communal slime mold. Communal slime mold. So two types, acellular and another one that is cellular. So quickly what happened, we are not taking detailed part about the cellular and the acellular because यहाँ से इतना ज़्यादा questions नहीं बनते. So quickly what we do, we quickly here we are discussing about this specific type of this protista, about the cellular as well as the acellular. Got it? Yeah. So this part is over. Then please tell me. We'll continue this part. Difference between the cellular and the acellular. थोड़ा सा part है, very short point. We can easily cover this part. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Should I continue? Should I continue? So quickly we are talking about यही पे division देख रहे हैं because question ज़्यादा detail में नहीं पूछता है यहाँ से. Very straightforward question. Difference between the cellular and the acellular. So whenever we are talking about that is cellular, cellular means what? These are the communal slime mold. Communal means what? They cluster, they associated with each other. They form a typical type of the structure. So now what happen? Whenever we are talking about slime mold, so for example, these are the single slime mold. Single slime mold, and it has the nucleus. So now what happens? Such type of the single slime mold, these are called as the mixed amoebae. Mixed amoebae. Single slime mold. Single slime mold. This single slime mold, basically what happen? These are haploid in nature. Haploid. So haploid कैसे represent करेंगे? Simply we represented by the small n. These are the haploid in nature. Now what happen? Is this any unfavorable condition? Stress condition. Okay. So is this any unfavorable condition? Stress condition. So under the unfavorable condition, now there is a secretion of cyclic AMP. Unfavorable condition, and now under this condition there is a secretion of cyclic AMP. C, ATP होता है adenosine triphosphate. AMP, what means what? That is adenosine monophosphate. This C stand for the cyclic, means cyclic AMP means means there is a bond. I think there is a third carbon and a fifth carbon. They join with each other and they form a cyclic structure. That's why such type of the structure is called the cyclic, and C stand for the cyclic word, cyclic AMP. क्या हो रहा है? देखो changes. First, we are taking the diagrammatic representation under the communal, how they form a community, how they form a cluster. Slime mold or single slime mold. Under the unfavorable condition, they secrete chemical. That chemical nothing but that is cyclic AMP. CMP, that is cyclic CMP. C stand for the cyclic. Now, what will be the changes? ये तो हमने यहाँ पे एक single slime mold draw किया. Now, for example, these are the one slime mold. Now, these are the another slime mold, third slime mold, fourth one, fifth one. So now what happened? Different slime mold, they come and join with each other like this. So nuclei, 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 nuclei. All these are the haploid. Haploid hai, haploid, 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 haploid. All these are the slime mold. These are the haploid in nature. Now what happened? They secrete the chemical. Which chemical? Cyclic AMP. And now what happened? Because of that chemical, they aggregate with each other. So they secrete the chemical. And now what happened? Because of that secretion, now they so they secrete the chemical and they attract towards this each other. Chemical secretion hua, right? And now what happened? All this slime mold, they are showing fusion. They are showing aggregation. They aggregate with each other. Aggregation. And now what happened? After the aggregation, there is a formation of some clump-like structure. Just imagine किस तरह से बनेगा? It will be form a structure like this. All this slime mold, single slime mold, they join with each other. Don't draw a specific shape, okay? ऐसे irregular shape में हमें draw करना है. So all these slime mold, they join with each other, and they can just they are showing aggregation, okay? Because अभी तक nuclear fusion नहीं हुआ है. Each and every cell they maintain their individual identity. So now what happened? See the changes क्या क्या हुआ? Single slime mold, under the unfavorable condition, they secrete the cyclic AMP. Due to cyclic AMP, now there's an aggregation of all slime mold. And now what happened? Third scenario, third diagram. After the aggregation, we form a cluster-like structure, like a community. Community means what? Similar type of the peoples, they come together and they celebrate a function or they celebrate any event. So community form hua. So now what happened? Slime molds are present, but now what happened? Condition unfavorable, so they never undergo the process of reproduction and growth development. So now for the survival, to increase the survival rate, all slime mold, which is a part of protista, right? Saprophytic protista, decomposer protista, they get together and they form a typical cluster-like structure. Finally, they form a structure, and these structure, simply these are called as pseudopodial structure. So this structure, aggregation of the slime mold, these are called as the pseudo. pseudo plasmodial structure. Pseudoplasmodial structure. Pseudo. So we discuss what is the meaning of the pseudo. We compare this point. Okay. So now this part is understand why we are saying this cellular slime mold, or these are the also called as the communal. Communal means what? Community form हो रहा है. Aggregation of the cell under the unfavorable condition. Got it? And you know that जैसे favorable condition होगा, one by one all slime mold they release from each other, they undergo the reproduction, they are showing growth, development, सब कुछ normal होगा. But we are not taking that too much part because it is a specific type of the cycle. They're not taking that cycle. We have to only mention two words. Cellular, also called as the communal slime mold. These are showing which structure? Pseudoplasmodial structure. Pseudoplasmodial. Got it, Pooja? Got it? This point is clear. Only one question. और ये कब पूछेंगे? If paper is hard level, that time only. If you don't understand, you can skip this part. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now we are talking about what is meaning of acellular. Acellular, these are also called as the plasmodial slime mold. यहाँ पे देखो हमने use किया pseudoplasmodial, and now here we are using the word plasmodial. एक मिनट, किमया. Yes, they can maintain their individual identity because see, ये तो unfavorable condition में हो गया. Once favorable condition is came, अच्छे दिन आएंगे. Then now what happen? They dissociate from each other and they are showing the growth development. They can maintain their individual identity. But when condition is favorable, जब अच्छे दिन आएंगे. Okay, चलो. So next part we are talking about acellular, also called as the plasmodial. Simply I'm taking the condition. यहाँ पे कोई aggregation नहीं हो रहा है. One thing. Now there is a presence of slime mold. यहाँ पे भी slime mold present होगा. Single slime mold. And please remember, this slime mold basically these are the multinucleated. This slime mold, these are the multinucleated. Multinucleated means what? If you discuss the cellular slime mold, we just try to understand single cell, and now that single cell it is having only single type of the nuclei, only single, N is present. But when you compare this point with respect to slime mold, in case of acellular, right? So definitely single slime mold hoga, but this slime mold is not haploid. Now this slime mold they maintain their identity as a diploid state का होगा. And now what happened? हाँ समर्थ अच्छे दिन. So diploid condition and this diploid condition it has the multinucleated. Okay, multinucleated. So बहुत सारे nuclei present होंगे like this. So this scenario, these are the represented by this word that is multinucleated condition. Now what happened? Now we are talking about same. We are taking the unfavorable condition. क्या होगा? Unfavorable condition. Under the unfavorable condition, now this scenario is quite changed. यहाँ पे cyclic AMP नहीं होगा. When unfavorable condition, that time it undergo the process of asexual reproduction. Under the asexual reproduction, and under the asexual reproduction, now there is a formation of sporangia. There is a formation of the typical structure that is sporangia. And you know sporangia means what? A specific type of the structure, like a fruiting body structure, or in other language you can say fruit bearing structure who has this spores, a spore bearing structure who has this spore. Typical structure that is called the sporangia, mother sporangia, sporophyll, mother cell, entire structure these are called as the sporangia. So यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Again there is an unfavorable condition, but scenario change, process is change because we are talking about now cellular slime mold, different slime mold. Okay, so now what happened? They form a sporangia structure. Sporangia मतलब क्या बनेगा देखो. I'm giving the quickly diagrammatic representation how this look. ये था मेरा single slime mold with multinucleated condition. and body कैसा है, diploid body है. Now they can form a typical structure that is sporangia. Under which condition? Unfavorable condition. Sporangia get formed. So now what happened? This diploid body which is present, this diploid body they are showing extension. Extension होगा मतलब क्या होगा? अब थोड़ा सा पोक की तरह स्पोर्स बाहर आएंगे, like this. So these are the body. Body है completely. Now this body is get elongated like this. ये कुछ elongated होगा. Such multinucleated condition also present. Body get elongated. Now what happened? Slowly, slowly from this body there is a formation of some typical structure like this. It will be form a structure. थोड़ा poke की तरह outgrowth form होगा. Similar type of the poke-like structures are present. And finally, what happened? We obtain a typical structure like fruiting body. One, two, multiple structures होंगे because these are the multinucleated condition, right? So we can form different sporangia. So finally, what the structure is obtained? That's obtained structure nothing but we can say that is sporangia. ये क्या structure है? There is a presence of this sporangia, and inside this sporangia, यहाँ पे present होंगे spores. Spores are present. Spores are present. Spores are present. Okay. And now what happens? जैसे अच्छे दिन होंगे, that is favorable condition. Now the sporangia is get burst and spores easily release, and they can form individual slime mold, individual acellular type of this slime mold. So just quickly check what is happening, what is the exactly difference between the दोनों condition हम discuss कर रहे हैं under only unfavorable condition. Whenever we are talking about that is communal slime mold, these are they form a structure that is pseudopodial structure. Okay, pseudopodial. But now what happened? Whenever we are talking about pseudoplasmodial, sorry, they form the pseudoplasmodial structure, means aggregation of these cells by secretion of the cyclic AMP. But now when we compare this point with acellular, they form a typical structure like plasmodial, and that plasmodial structure nothing but single cell hoga, multinucleated cell. Now that cell under the unfavorable condition, it is undergo the asexual mode of reproduction. Body get elongated. Now there is a formation of some fruiting body like structure form hoga, and now they form different more than one sporangia they produce. And once that sporangia get produced, inside this sporangia spores are present. When there is a favorable condition, spores get released, and now that spores undergo the germination. Got it? This point is clear. It's very basic and the major difference. And remember, maximum यहाँ से question नहीं बनता for the NEET examination, but हाँ हमारे test में होगा definitely one question on the slime mold. So for the test you have to prepare this, but just remember the only one word. Say acellular plasmodial structure, cellular, communal, or also called as the pseudoplasmodial structure. That's it. And where the cyclic AMP is released? When we are talking about formation of community, when we are talking about the communal slime mold. Got it? This point is clear, everyone? Komal, Samarth, Sejal, Rubaika, Himaya, Pratyusha. Okay, okay. So please revise karo. Definitely this part is easy. Now with this slime mold, we end today's session. I think on Saturday we'll continue the other types, photosynthetic protista and the protozoa, further part. Chalo. Yeah, bye bye. Thank you. Please revise entire part, okay? Because we already covered the cell, the living world. We covered the kingdom Monera. So remember this point. Smart study करना है because we have very less time. Or definitely trust me, सब कुछ होता है because your brain is now it's quite developed as compared to 11th, as compared to 12th. Now you are having the well developed brain. So please focus on this smart study. More question, more practice. Yeah, thank you.